Children enjoy subjects that are manageable and when what is required is clearly explained. Alternatively, children dislike subjects that are confusing or difficult. Computing is a huge part of today's society, and therefore, as teachers, we need to inspire children to enjoy and see computing as a meaningful subject. This ultimately means getting assessment right and remembering the key reasons why we assess. We assess to inform planning, monitor progression, and to ensure teaching goals are learnt and that children understand. This video aims to voice particular challenges that computing presents to assessment for learning, alternatively known as formative assessment, and how we as teachers can overcome these problems. Ofsted 2011 carried out a 3-year inspection in 167 schools. The report concluded teaching of ICT was good or outstanding in 2/3 of primary schools. However, on the contrary, assessment was concluded as weak in all schools. Ofsted 2011 state when teaching and learning was good or outstanding, formative assessment was embedded in a variety of ways and was a fundamental part of every lesson. Formative assessment strategies can be generalized across all subject areas. The most common strategies used are self-assessment, peer assessment, open questioning, discussion with peers, also known as taught partners, target setting, and eliciting knowledge. One of the challenges of assessing computing is that it is hard to judge pupils' knowledge and understanding based on the products of practical tasks. I myself have experienced this trouble when a Year 3 class were creating programs on Scratch. It was impossible to know the thought process they had gone through, the struggles they had encountered, and the corrections they had made based on their final products. To overcome this problem, teachers could have conversations with the children. However, it is almost impossible to speak to every child in every lesson. Another challenge I have experienced. An alternative and more practical method to overcome this problem is for the children to note down or blog the process they go through. Through this method, children are completing 2 things: creating a program and analysing their programs and methods, achieving requirements of the national curriculum, and ultimately self-assessing. Additionally, Ofsted 2011 revealed children are usually proud of their achievements and enjoy describing their work to others, therefore suggesting this method would be respected by children, hence be effective. Another method of assessing children's programs is using websites similar to Dr. Scratch. This is an example of automatic feedback, but this website itself arises its own problems. Although it effectively and visually shows the level children are at, it is not technical enough to know the process children have gone through and simply assesses the final product, taking us back to the original problem. Another difficulty in assessing computing arises when pupils work collaboratively. Although theorists such as Piaget and Vygotsky suggest children learn more effectively if they are able to work together and share ideas, it arises the complication of not being able to identify individuals' work and achievements. To overcome this difficulty, children should be introduced to peer assessment, open questioning, and as previously mentioned, blogging. Open questioning, also known as technical interviews, give children the opportunity to explain and justify their strategies to solve a problem or debugging. Harrison states questions should focus on the whys and the hows to draw out children's understanding. I will put this assessment method into my future practice to overcome the problem of allowing collaborative work, one that I believe to be vital in enhancing children's enthusiasm and understanding in subjects. However, to complete this method effectively, feedback also needs to be unflawed. EEF 2015 suggests good feedback is specific and clearly states what the learner is doing right and what the learner needs to do to improve. Ofsted 2011 states an example of poor feedback is when teachers focus on the presentation or appearance of work rather than the children's knowledge or understanding. Dweck highlights the importance of praising the process and effort rather than the outcome. To do this effectively, teachers need to change their criteria and focuses. In conclusion, it is evident that computing arises lots of challenges to assessment, but there are many opportunities to overcome these. In my future practice, I remember 3 key things about assessment. Firstly, children need to be a part of the assessment and feedback process. Secondly, assessment and feedback should focus on children's knowledge and understanding and be connected to objectives. And thirdly, assessment should be used effectively to inform planning.